So we are going to be talking about Naruto, or Boruto I should say, Naruto the Next Generation, which is the new manga series from the, Naruto universe. Now this is not being drawn by Kishimoto. I believe he might have some influence with the story, but it's actually being drawn, as far as I can remember, by one of the editors who worked on Naruto. So as you can see from this chapter, the art is not amazing. I do think the art in the first 3 pages, which we'll get into a detailed discussion about in a few minutes, is decent, but then it kind of tails off towards the end. Now I'm going to be straight with you guys, I didn't read all of this chapter because for one thing it was like 64 pages, and for the other thing it was pretty damn familiar, which means that we've seen this content before in Boruto Naruto the movie. Now I do realise that a lot of people probably haven't seen Boruto Naruto the movie because it it's really hard to get a hold of. There are probably some really good copies on the internet at the moment because it's been so long since it was released, and some people probably got to see it in theatres. I didn't actually get the chance, which bums me out, but I did watch it online because I was so eager to watch it. And yes, I will buy it when it comes out just to show my support and to make up for the fact that I watched it, I guess, illegally. But a lot of you probably didn't see that, so this content isn't familiar. But this manga is apparently getting the treatment that Dragon Ball Super got with the content that we'd already seen. Dragon Ball Super included content from not only Battle of Gods, but also Resurrection F, 2 movies, and basically stretched that content that we'd already seen over 27 episodes, which is why I still have yet to get into Dragon Ball Super. I probably will get into it eventually, but from the start of the new content. Anywho, this chapter is 64 pages long, and there's about 3 pages of stuff we haven't seen in the movie. The rest of it is just the beginning of the movie, up to where Boruto asks Sasuke to be his disciple, to be his dad. Now another thing I learned about this chapter, I think today, was this chapter, or this manga series I should say, is monthly. That means it is not released every week like most normal manga series like One Piece, My Hero Academia, other series like that. It is released monthly, which means this is going to be going on, the movie content, for like 3, maybe even 4 months. Stuff we've seen already before is going to be just filling up the manga for the next, I don't know, and it feels bad, okay? That's how it feels, because Naruto the anime just got out of filler, and it feels like Boruto the manga is going back into filler. And Boruto a manga having filler is not something you ever see, okay? It's rare for anything in a manga to be considered filler, but it feels like filler, right? You know what happens in the movie. I do understand that there are people who, haven't seen the movie, but maybe just make a chapter, an extremely long chapter dedicated to the movie's content, get it all out the way. If this chapter covered everything from the movie, with maybe like 100 extra pages long, because it probably have to be that long, maybe twice the size it is, and then next chapter the new content started, I'd be happy. I'd be happy to wait a month, but to think like all the stuff we have to go over, it's going to take 3 or 4 months to get all the movie's content done. It's not something that I personally enjoy, and I may be wrong. I just heard that the manga is monthly on the internet, so I haven't sourced it yet or checked my facts. So it may be weekly, but I highly doubt it, to be honest, because that's just how it feels like it's going to be to me. Anyway, we're going to talk about the first 3 or so pages of this manga, which are new content that we have never seen before, and it is exciting. It is an extreme flash forward from the looks of it that we probably will never see for like a good couple of years, or we won't see the cause of what happens there for the next couple of years. We do see some dramatic things occur, including the destruction of the entire Hidden Leaf Village, including the city area around it. Even the Hokage statues have now fallen and are crumpled to the ground. When Pain destroyed the Hidden Leaf Village all that time ago, the Hokage statues survived, so to see them destroyed means that the scale of this attack is probably going to be even higher. There's nobody in sight apart from these 2 people, one of them being Kawaki? I don't know how to pronounce his name, and we also see, of course, Boruto. Now, Boruto seems to be visibly quite older. I would probably say he's around, maybe a bit older than Naruto in Naruto Shippuden, but he definitely doesn't look like he does in the movie, which is like a 12-year-old genin. He has a scar covering his eye that also, when he puts on his headband, is on top of the headband as well, so he's obviously been wearing that headband and been cut down the eye. Similar that kind of in vein to Kakashi's scar, except Kakashi's scar obviously didn't protrude into his headband as well. His headband, I think, also has the scar through the middle of it, like Sasuke's headband, so that, presumably he's wearing Sasuke's old headband from when he first left the village. I do believe Sasuke still had that headband, so Perhaps the fact that he is wearing it is in tribute to his master, because, you know, really Naruto was his dad, but Sasuke was his master as well. So perhaps, I'm guessing at least, Sasuke is dead, which is the rumor that's going around. And also, as we can see in the chapter, apparently Naruto himself is dead too, which is surprising, because he says, "I will send you to join the 7th," which not only implies that Naruto is dead, but implies that he has something to do with it. Maybe his teacher had something to do with Naruto being killed, because I can't imagine that this kid had something to do with Naruto being killed, because let's face it, in comparison to Naruto, he's a kid. Naruto is an extremely powerful individual. His death is going to be emotional for me to watch, because he's one of my favourite anime characters, and just, you know, characters in general. So to watch his death is going to be impactful, or to read his death is going to be impactful, and I really can't see where they're going to go with it, how they're going to do it, but it makes me interested, which is kind of a bait and switch, because the rest of this chapter was just, you know, content we'd already seen before. Now we see Boruto with what appears to be the Byakugan as well, which he didn't have, presumably, before, and it's only present in one eye, which suggests that maybe, like Kakashi again, he had some kind of eye transplant or something when he lost his eye. I don't know why he'd only have, you know, one eye with the Byakugan if it wasn't an eye transplant, but maybe there's a specific reason. And he also seems to awaken some kind of Sage Mode type markings on his body, some kind of seal, perhaps, maybe Sage Mode, maybe something else, we don't know. I think it's blue in the fan art, or in the coloured version of the coloured page, which seems interesting. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to be reviewing this every month, at least until we see new content that the movie doesn't have in it. So once we get past the movie, then I will be reviewing the new content, because honestly the first 3 pages of this chapter were hype. I'm really excited to see where it goes, but I'm probably not going to hold my breath to see anything really exciting anytime soon, because it is such a long wait. Anyway guys, I know I've been absent from making videos for a long time. I want to get back into it and do more of these discussion type videos. I know this was pretty thrown together at the last minute, and I know this wasn't very complexly edited, but I do just want to say that I pride myself on providing the most discussion based content I can, so I want you guys to have a discussion with me, and you can do that in the comment section below to let me know your thoughts. Also, apologies for any audio problems, if the volume's too low or if there's background noise. There's some windows open in my house that I can't really close because they're not in my room, and you might be able to hear some birds or something. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.